Hey guys, I'm back with you right now with more information on the digital application Classcraft, the PBIS system that's very similar to Class Dojo, but definitely for older students, definitely more suited for your middle school classrooms. So today we're going to be looking at two different things. We'll be looking at number one, how can you manage it as a teacher? What's the easiest way for you to manage this PBIS system to distribute points and to make sure that you're rewarding good behaviors? And then secondarily, we're going to show you what it looks like from the student perspective. What does it look like from their side when they're getting these points? How can they spend those points on their character? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So when we last left off on Classcraft, we had ended up looking over here at just kind of the basics, like how do you award XP points to your students for good behaviors, like cooperating with their peers or saying please and thank you, or these different activities you're trying to promote. Remember, you can change those up; those can be customized for whatever you value in your classroom. So just how to do that, how to award gold points or gold pieces for students doing different activities, right? Mastery of a new skill, getting 50 gold pieces they could spend to kind of outfit their character. But what I wanted to really show you today is two different things. What is the best way to distribute those points? And so you have kind of two different options. Well, you have three different options technically. You could distribute on the player level, where you're just going through each player's name over here on the left hand side and distributing points. That's a pretty simple way to do it. It keeps the characters on screen. If you're using Zoom for this and you're using a share screen and this is the screen students are seeing, this keeps this when their character does something good, they're seeing their character be promoted to the rest of the class. With that said, the easier way to manage this is in teams or as a whole class. So if you have students working in groups, you can actually manage these teams, create teams for them, groups for them, and then award those groups points based on the work that those groups are producing. At the same time, if you're doing, like you're grading a lot of papers or you're going over student work individually, you can award them points via the classroom version. And look, you can see right here on the left-hand side, you're going to see it's very easy to manage your points this way. And it's a lot easier than going one by one. And it can go a lot faster because you can award multiple points to multiple students. You can award everybody points at the same time if the whole class is on task. And if the student's absent, you can make sure to click them being absent and then mark the rest of them for those points. So it's a pretty cool feature, definitely something to keep in mind as you're trying to consider ways to manage your classroom. Going back, we're going to go back to the game dashboard. We'll look at Shizuko Niehoff, who's a mage level 14. This is a student in your class, this demo classroom. And this demo classroom is open to you right now once you sign up for your Classcraft account. So Shizuko, we can see, is a mage, again, level 14. Mages, they are able to use these different powers here on the bottom underneath their characters. They can use a power like teleport. The mage disappears to avoid a question in a quiz. If they use that power, now they've been able to dodge your quiz question, which is a kind of a cool ability. So let's look at what it looks like from Shizuko's perspective as a student. All right, so now we're in student view. So we're looking at it from the perspective of a student in your classroom. What are they going to see as they interact with the game, as you award them XP points, as you award them gold pieces? What do they see? So here's what we see from the perspective of Shizuko. So on the left-hand side, they have a game dashboard just like you. It's a little bit more limited. They're going to have options here, though. So when you scroll down, they can go to the game dashboard and look at their fellow students, of course. That's just by clicking that. They can see their fellow students, what their fellow students' outfits look like, who are their pets. And believe me, they get really into those sort of things, like what kind of, oh, you have this outfit, I don't have this outfit, or I have this really rare pet that you don't have. So they really get into that. It's something they can kind of, use their the things that they earn on those, these digital items. Okay, so here's the gold. Here's the gold pieces. Right now, Shizuko has 89 gold. So let's go ahead and buy something. So if we go over here to down here, these different items, there's different items that relate to the character. So she is a mage. So let's go ahead and try to change one of her robes. So let's look at our top there. See, we change it to, this one costs $50. This one costs $60, $75. Let's go ahead and choose this. We'll go ahead and choose this one right here. We'll buy it, $50. That leaves her with $39. Now she has this frost outfit top. Same with the pets. And again, you can start using these to earn your gold. You can choose between different ones, etc. They unlock as they get more points. They can also access the quest down here. So on the left-hand side, these is where you can embed assignments for your students to take care of. You can put content here that your students need to complete, and it just presents in a quest format. Students can also present kudos, send shout outs to their peers, and you can reward that as a teacher when you see those things. And then finally, you have a messenger, so students can talk to you. You can make announcements to students here. Those announcements pop up as they do things. So let me give you an example. When we go back to the character dashboard, if we use the power of, let's say, invisibility right here, it costs 10 AP, gives 50 XP points. We use this, we get a notification down here. You gain 50 XP. Way to go. When you give out points to your students, they're going to get this notification so if they're using Chromebooks and they're 10 miles away from you, they're going to get this notification when you award them points for doing something, an activity you wanted them to do. So these are just some things to keep in mind as you look at things from the student perspective on what students are seeing. So now we're back to the teacher dashboard, and so what I want to talk about is what we're going to be kind of looking at on our next short video that we'll put together for Classcraft. I want to really take a deep dive into the behaviors that you're going to be needing to create and behaviors that you're going to need to adapt to really fit the digital environment that you're now teaching in because of COVID-19. So we'll visit that. We'll look at the penalties. We'll look at how the penalties right here, these sentences and these things that students get that used to be a negative thing, how these things are actually more of a PBIS system and more focused on restorative justice. So we'll talk a lot about these different things, these behaviors, and setting up your game beforehand, and how important it is before you roll this out to really have set up behaviors and powers and events that make sense for what your classroom is now in a digital environment. Okay? All right, so I'll see you on the next one.